like a lot of people I know, I had a dysfunctional family, a dysfunctional upbringing in a dysfunctional family, and that leads to trouble. And some of the trouble could be terminal if you're not lucky. And the guitar saved my life. It gave me something to do that was coherent and a way to express myself. And I discovered it as such a tool in 1965. And I went to my first, and I started playing like right away. I got a guitar teacher, and then I got another one. And I went to my first coffee house in 66, I think it was, little place in Saratoga called the Brass Knocker. And then I started playing all over the place. Palo Alto, there are places up there, Redwood City, over on the coast, there was the Spouter Inn that became the Shelter, Jones Whale in San Jose, a couple of places in Santa Cruz, everywhere. I just started playing everywhere. But what really made a difference as far as the songwriting goes, because in those days I was just writing songs because everybody was writing songs. I mean, the 60s were a renaissance. It wasn't just a bunch of people dropping acid. It was an actual renaissance with music and plays and theater and politics and all of it mixed together. And there were no demarcations. It wasn't like you can't do theater in a coffee house or you can't be political. It's like in a song. I mean, people make a big deal about political songs now, and it's like, not in my day. Nobody, they didn't call them anything else. They were just part of your repertoire. Every male of, similar age was dealing with the idea of going to Vietnam. Everybody had this stuff on their minds. So it went into your repertoire. Everybody had something in their repertoire to deal with it. But it was when I got to Seattle. I got out of California because hard drugs were moving in, and I didn't want to be caught up in that stuff. So I went to New York City, hitchhiked across the country in the wintertime. Thank you very much. And I was there for a year, and I fell in with some people who were from Seattle. They were going home. I'd never been there before. I thought it'd be an interesting place to go to, so I went, and it was probably the second or third best thing I did. And Seattle fell in love with it almost instantly. There was one folk club in the whole town, one. And after a couple of months of me being there, it closed. It was called the DMZ, and it closed.
It's your fault.
So, okay. Yeah. So, the last folk club is closed. So I'm despondent because I didn't really think past the boundaries of definition, if you know what I mean. So there's no folk clubs. So what do I do now? Does it mean I have to stop playing? No, you don't have to stop playing. But what it means is you can now play anywhere and everywhere. And some people will say you can't play in this particular pizza parlor, but the pizza parlor down the street won't say that. You can play in there, So that's what I did. I played everywhere. And I played a lot on the street. I played cocktail bars. I played pizza parlors, bus stations, TV stations. And I played a lot on the street, the sidewalks, and on the college campus. And on the college campus was where my head began to expand. Okay. You learn, if you're playing outdoors, this is an important part of it. You realize soon enough, if you're doing this for a living, as I was, but not just a living in the sense of money, a living in the sense of life. If you're doing it for reality, you know that you don't get to pay the rent if the people don't like you. And you also know that if you sing about the people, they will stop and they will listen because you're singing about them. And I got really good at improvising off of people's shoes and their coats and their hats and their dogs and everything else. And they would always stop to see what I'm going to say. And I knew how to be funny, and I could make, and I would go from person to person and get a crowd that way. But on a seriouser level, a deeper level, what's affecting their lives? What are they thinking about? What are they talking about? What are they afraid of? What are they trying to accomplish? These are things that you need to be able to sing about, because I was singing outdoors 7 days a week. And I was paying the rent and everything else. And I was going out to the university and playing and gathering crowds. And if I'm going to gather a crowd a couple of days a week, 2 days a week, every week for 6 years, if I'm going to do that, then I have to have new material. Every time I play out there, I have to have a song I haven't heard. Okay? That's a lot of songs, and that's a lot of subjects. So what is on their minds? Well, there's the Chicano Student Union, there's the Indian Student Union, there's the Black Student Union, there's the Women's Student Union. There's all these student unions out there, student unions. And they all had their realities that they are working on. So I would go to their meetings. I would go to what the events they were putting on, and I would put these things into my songs. And when you put somebody's life or somebody's struggle into your song, you are inviting them to come up and talk to you and tell you what you got right, what you got wrong, what you need to improve on. And hey, you want to come around and see what we're doing? You know, that happens too. So I got to go around and see what they were doing, go to different places. I got invited out to Minneapolis by John Trudell, invited me out there the first time to write a song about Leonard Peltier. Although that's not what he said, but I met him when he was doing a Leonard Peltier speaking thing at the University of Washington, and he heard me and I heard him, and I walked up and I said, I like the way you talk. He said, I like the way you sing. Would you like to come out to the Twin Cities to see what the people are doing? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but you can't turn that down. That's how your life expands. So so I went out there. I got the Leonard Peltier Defense Committee bought me a one-way ticket to Twin Cities Airport, and which is smart, because you don't know what's going to happen. So I was out there, and I went with John out to a rally that was held outside his penitentiary in Stillwater. So far as I knew, the only actual industry Stillwater had was the penitentiary. So that was a strange place to go to. Every street lamp downtown had a flag on it. Every single one of them. And this is May. It wasn't the 4th of July. They're very patriotic, so I get to do that. And I'm riding into town with a bunch of Indians, a bunch of people that they kind of, it's the whole dynamic is set up. And I get to think of what the flag stands for. It's like keeping the devil away from you, keeping bad spirits away from you. It's like garlic to a vampire. Hang a flag, and the people they don't like won't come in. So here I was riding in a car with a bunch of people they don't like. It's all kinds of stuff like that. I went to a lot of rallies. I went to Standing Rock, the Second International Treaty Conference, Standing Rock, to sing my song, all this kind of stuff. And I worked with the Black Panther Party breakfast program in Seattle and got to know that. And you do this, and you do it. It starts out as a way to make sure that you have an audience because you have to pay the rent. You become aware soon enough that you're not only paying the rent, but you're actually becoming authentic in the sense that you are doing what songs should do. They should do this. They should sing about people, especially if you want people to listen to you. You need to pay back, and that means to sing about them.
You love your sweet country for all of your life, like your mother and father before you. And the land runs deep, so deep in your blood, your flesh and your bone and your sinews. Descendants and ancestors deep as it goes, a relative circle as far as your eye. It can all be undone in the flash of an instant. Mechanical thunder that bruises the sky, bruises the sky. Goodbye to my relatives all of my life, never again will I see. You won't have a name when they fly the big airplanes. Collateral damage is all you will be, all you will be. From a faraway place where the language is strange, they come with their angry machines, and the clouds rain a metal that hurts when it falls, and it shatters the ground, making everything scream. And the children run crippled, the old people hide, the babies are caught in the rubble debris. But the strangers don't know you, you are only a number, underreported on colored TV, colored TV. Goodbye to my relatives all of my life, never again will I see. You won't have a name when they fly the big airplanes. Collateral damage is all you will be, all you will be. A baby, a mother is more than a number to a baby who now has to grow up on its own. And a grandfather blinded and crippled at his age is more than just a statistical drone. All of these people are human. And humans are more than a footnote. This cynical language of killing is killing us, caught like a bone in humanity's throat, humanity's throat. Goodbye to my relatives, all of my life, never again will I see. You won't have a name when they fly the big airplanes. Collateral damage is all you will be, all you will be. So if you see a ghost in the lonely wind blowing like shrapnel, the sound of the rain, and it's speaking a language you don't understand, but you know what it means just the same. There's no time for innocence, all of that's over now. Don't say that you didn't know. When they come to collect for the damages owed, the collateral may be your own. It may be your own. Goodbye to my relatives, all of my life, never again will I see. You won't have a name when they fly the big airplanes. Collateral damage is all you will be, all you will be. It's pretty simple. You got enough wealth to spread it around, so everybody swims and nobody drowns. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You take the landlord's power and you whittle it down. You put people in houses all over town. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You find the hungry family and you give them a meal. You get doctors so that people can heal. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And it's not just me, and it's not just you, it's all of us. And it's not just me, and it's not just you, it's all of us. It's pretty simple. Take the stolen money out from under their thumb, give it back to the people that they stole it from. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Cut the military budget till it's almost gone. Put the money in schools and you can't go wrong. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. We've been doing it wrong all along the line, so let's do it right this time. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And it's not just me, and it's not just you, it's all of us. And it's not just me, and it's not just you, it's all of us. And we are greater than they allow us to believe. We are genius, we are history to be, and they think their money is the key, but we know the key is in the numbers of our solidarity. It's pretty simple. You can't do it alone, don't even try it. You gotta organize, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You're dreaming a dream and you're making it real. Everybody's got a shoulder they can put to the wheel. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And it's a victory and it's almost won. And you're doing what they told you couldn't be done. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. And it's not just me and it's not just you, it's all of us.